Welcome to Alabama Manufacturing Now, hosted by the Alabama Training Network, a podcast where we cover a wide array of challenges, solutions, and innovations for manufacturers and businesses.
We're your host, Whitney Barlow
and Paige Caulfield.
Alabama Training Network, powered by the Alabama Community College System, built for training, driven by workforce.
Welcome back to Alabama Manufacturing Now. We're your host, Whitney, and I am Paige. Thank you all for joining us today. We have brought in another co-host with Alabama Training Network. This is Joey Massey. He is our MEP director. Joey, you've been on this episode or this podcast before, so we know all about you, and we welcome you back to talk a little bit about ATN's new brand. And as you might know, everybody, we have gone from Alabama Technology Network to Alabama Training Network. How does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel good. It seems like a bit of a direction correction where it's
I love
the
that.
type of thing where everybody thinks this is the way we think of ourselves anyway.
Right.
Is because we do so much training anyway.
Yes.
Internally, I don't think it's that much of a shift.
I agree.
For industry, look, I've been at conferences. You guys have been at conferences. We've met new people, and you tell them the name of your company, and they may tend to ask you some extra questions that I think this will help ease some of that.
Can you
the
fix my
understanding
computer?
will be better.
Correct. You don't want me fixing your computer.
Right. Yeah. Or can you help me recover my old email?
Correct. Now, you can do all that. Paige and I, not so much.
I used to be able to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Whitney, as far as the new brand, the new launch, what do you think that really means for our clients and our partners?
Well, for our clients and our current clients as well as new clients, it gives them an opportunity to really understand what we do with the 5 teams.
Yes.
Right? For years, I've only been with the company for a couple of years, or the organization for a couple of years. But for years, when I was on the other side with economic development and I'd hear Alabama Technology Network, I had no idea what it was.
Right.
I honest to God thought it was a computer. Like that's where you went to help do your IT. And when they would talk about like train the trainer for forklift and, you can have them come in, I'm like, so computer people do forklift training too?
Right.
And so, and I know that it really makes me sound quite dumb now that I'm on this side, but for the average person that has 10 million things going on and they don't really know that much about us, or they're new to the state of Alabama and they hear Alabama Technology Network, or they heard that, it was a little confusing.
Yeah.
So now for clients, especially where we have transitions, so y'all know we'll have companies that have worked with us for years, and then all of a sudden that individual that was our contact or that team, they'll either get promoted. A lot of our companies are across the nation or across the world. They'll get transferred, and we'll have a whole new group of people come in. And now we're trying to, they're looking at our name. They're trying to figure out, well, why are we hiring technology people for IMT? So I think this is going to really help understand the translation of what we do and what we bring to the table.
Absolutely. I think we have to focus on that. Even though it's a rebrand, we are relaunching ATN into the world. At the end of the day, we are still ATN.
Yes.
We are still committed to the same excellence. We just have a renewed focus. And, that focus is manufacturing industry in the state of Alabama.
So we got to glow up.
We got to glow up is
Glow
what we
up.
got.
Right.
Yep.
Do you get glow ups?
No.
Glow up. Well, you just got to glow up. You part of, no. We weren't the only people that got a glow up rebranding.
No, not at all.
Last year, Alabama Community College System had a whole rebranding as well.
Yes. Shout out to them.
Yes. And they became one system. And so, Paige, how do you think that really impacts where we're going now and how that all puts us together under one system, one vision, one mission?
Yeah. All togetherness.
All together.
Another high school musical that we like to be a part of. And some of you who know of ATN know that we have been a part of the community college system since 2004. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Joey, jump in
correct.
at any time if you need to correct me. So honestly, again, I think that this is a big opportunity for us, changing our technology to training. I think it's just something we capitalize on, and we have a better partnership with them because it's going to cause more understanding. So those community colleges will slowly start to look at us and say, oh, they don't fix computers. Like, they're actually here to help us build this training workforce. They can come in, and if it's something that the community college is unfamiliar with or need resources for, they can always partner with us and pull us in and say, hey, we have, a stint of these students or adult ed that need this. Can you provide this? And of course, we are always able to help them as being an arm of the community college system. I think it better impacts us as well.
I agree with all that. I think really it's an efficiency driven type situation where they've taken stock of what their resources are. Last time I was here, I had talked about the vast amount of resources that we can tap into federally and statewide and all that. Well, ACCS is the same way. I mean, they have a lot of resources that are available to them within their own network. And to your point, I think I've personally learned about entities within ACCS that I may not have known exactly what they did before and how we can fit together with them. And data is to be collected in a different way. We all know I'm a data guy. I'm a data measurements guy. So I think that's a good thing. Anytime you take stock of your inventory of resources and how they're used in your system, I think that's a wonderful thing for them to do. I look forward to it.
I agree. So as we head into this new year of 2026, and as all of these changes are coming about in the relationships that we have with our current clients, do you see those relationships evolving? Do you see more opportunities for us with the rebrand?
More opportunities? Yes. We've dealt with manufacturing for a long time only. I think with collaborations and other entities within the college system not being in that same position necessarily to work with manufacturers, I think we have a lot more opportunity through collaboration to touch on that and to branch that out past manufacturing. Now, will we do that individually? Probably some more than we have before. I don't know that it would be our number one focus, of course, but there are definitely opportunities to tap into markets that we have not touched before.
I think that's a great point. I think that there's a lot of companies that maybe aren't in the manufacturing sector, that are more in the white-collar business sector, in healthcare, in a lot of areas that we don't necessarily in last year and the previous years. It's not that we didn't train in them. I mean, I trained a pool company. We did them. That just wasn't our niche, and that wasn't the people we looked for. I think that on the books we have a lot of contracts with companies that are not like that, and I think that's just a great opportunity for us to grow and expand in various things, because manufacturers aren't the only people that need that. So quite a bit of our training.
Absolutely, there are other types of businesses that manufacturers need. There's warehousing, transportation, logistics. There's hospitality, healthcare. There are just a ton of industry sectors that we don't really tap into to help.
And the cool thing about being one system with the community college is that these are all areas that they teach, that they offer both credit and non-credit in.
Absolutely.
And I am confident. Now, this is, the first part of 2026. This is all brand new. But if I was a betting person, I would say there's probably a lot of short-term training in those sectors as well that the community college probably doesn't or isn't really, that's not their area, which is a perfect gap for us to fill, which is why it makes us great to be one system.
Yes. And honestly, looking at all of those sectors, there is not one of them that you mentioned that would not need leadership training.
Absolutely. I believe we have a product that would help every employee or potential employee in the state of Alabama. I believe we have at least one product that fits into that. So I think it'll be good.
I mean, Paige can tell you that my conflict resolution is by none the best conflict resolution class you'll participate in.
And it depends on what has happened previously that day on how passionate she is when she delivers it. Even though it's always very good, sometimes you get really passionate, Whitney.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's just like, we are here today to learn about conflict resolution.
Sometimes I'm internally dealing with conflict resolution, trying to resolve my own conflict while I'm trying to teach
It's
it.
nice to have an experienced instructor.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
She's one of the best. She
Yes.
is one of the best. If you need
lot of
conflict
experience.
resolution, ask for Whitney.
Lots of experience in conflict resolution,
Yep.
whether I want to have it or not. So, okay, so we all know that EV, aerospace, whatever the whole debate on are we going to be 4.0, 5.0, and advanced manufacturing, all these little areas that are coming down the pathway, solar. What are y'all's thoughts on Alabama Training Network and where we're going with some of that? Or, I mean, I try to figure out like how does that? I mean, I trust our guys to continue to evolve, but what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, I don't think there's probably been a time before now where industry has changed so quickly, the things that happen in industry change so quickly, but I don't think that's new.
No.
I think that's always been the way, and I think in a year from now, if we said the same thing, it would be the same answer. Things just change more quickly. Now, with that being said, business is based on a lot of factors that coalesce to make a thing work, but you have the goals to make a profit, and you have processes to make that profit, and you have the people who run the processes. I guess we're going to invent Joey's 3 Ps of business right here.
That's it. Oh my God.
I mean,
Next class.
The profit is its own self. Okay, that's self-explanatory. The processes are designed to make the profit. Then you have the people who design, administer, and run the process. That portion of the puzzle never really changes.
Nope.
It always takes the people to do it. So, yes, that all evolves quickly, but the piece of that doesn't evolve is the actual workforce component of it, where you need the people to do it. I may start to ramble here, but that's okay. So, we've gone from blacksmithing to make a horseshoe to CNC milling, where it's not the same thing. But there's still a person who either has the hammer and the anvil, or there's a person who operates the CNC machine. It still takes the person. It's just a different skill. Those things don't evolve as quickly as maybe the technology that's used to perform it. So you may go for 10 years being able to operate a CNC machine in the same way. The CNC machine may be better, but the operation of it is the same. So I don't know that turnover is as quick as everyone thinks that it is. We do have to evolve with it, but we don't have to evolve as quickly as maybe in your mind. Does that make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense because humans aren't that special.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
We like
that's
to
true.
think we are.
I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that you did a perfect example. The Industrial Revolution, like we've changed, and humans have to adapt to things. But our inner core,
We have, but if you really look at it as an overall picture, so the education system, since we're talking about ACCS, used to be in a one-room schoolhouse, and things were taught in that schoolhouse that would help you in your everyday life at the time. Well, then that changes. So the education system changes. What you get taught at school changes. So there was a time period where these trainings weren't as important because the things weren't as fast, and you were already taught some of those things. Well, as the education system evolves, those don't get taught, and we're just in a natural movement of having to teach those things after the fact now. That's the way I view it, which is strange, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Also, to add to that, I think there's a lot of people out there that are scared or maybe nervous about the change and, the fast changing landscape of modern manufacturing. People are scared about jobs and, with AI coming in and is my job safe? Is it going to be taken over?
Sure.
But I think that as to your point, there always has to be that person maybe to fix the robot and to what happens if that robot goes down for, a certain amount of time. There has to be that person who steps in who's like, hey, I can do it manually because I've spent this time watching and training and learning. So I think that's a good point to make, that change is not always bad. Change is good. We have to continually improve. Shout out AT&CI team.
That's right. There's so many of those that are my favorites. Brandon Lineberry, he's been on here a couple of times.
He's a great instructor.
Robert Tomlinson.
Great instructor. Yeah.
I've gone blank.
Grace Trevino.
Grace, yes.
Good one.
Grace went to California last year for one of our companies and worked with them. That was great.
Yeah. So back to our rebrand, I guess, if you want to call it that, our relaunch. Again, at the end of the day, we're still ATN, but how do we continue to balance the hands-on technical training with our partners, our clients, new clients who may be coming in, with soft skills development?
That's probably one of the, so all of our teams, I don't know if y'all know this, have been in the past year or so developing a soft skills component of their hands-on or their skills.
Yeah.
We have a leadership version in safety, a leadership version in continual improvement, one in IMT, and it's really because they're teaching these skills, and you've put managers in these positions or leads in these positions that now know the actual hands-on skill or whatever that is, and they don't know how to implement it. And it's not that they don't know how to implement it in the way that they can do it or they can tell someone, but they don't understand how to read the personalities or what type of learner they are. When they do train the trainer, part of one of the things that they do is teach people like what kind of learner they are. Like, am I visual? Am I audio? Am I hands-on? Audio, auditorial. That's not the word. What's the word? Auditory? Nope.
Audio.
Is it audio? It's not audio. It's like AUDITORY.
It's auditory.
Did I say that?
Auditory processing.
Well,
Yes.
you said it like they wrote an auditorial in a newspaper.
That's what I thought I said. That's why I stopped myself. So I'll go back. So they have, in Train the Trainer, they have a part of that class where they teach the individuals in the room how they learn. And then by teaching them, by taking the test of how they learn how to apply that. So those are really important skills in soft skill development. I think that's something for a while we forgot. That is a major core. When back when I taught LMD, and I still do a little bit here and there, that was one thing that we try to teach the companies is it's a building process of evaluating the person themselves, then understanding how they were evaluated and how to evaluate their team. If you can't do that, it's very hard to lead a team.
Right.
And I don't care if you're building ships, if you're doing EV, if you're, managing a bank, you've got to understand your people.
Yeah.
And what makes them tick. And so I think that's pretty impressive of our company and the leadership that our individual staff has is that they saw a need where they were seeing the skill itself being taught, but they were realizing through future work with the company that the skill was not getting implemented like it should, and they were realizing it was a soft skill problem. So they figured out how to add an additional class to that and teach them, and they get great reviews from it. So I mean, I think that shows how we evolve to accommodate a company. A lot of our companies have come on this podcast saying, well, they helped me because they worked with me in needs and they accommodated the needs that we had specifically. And so that's one thing we pride ourselves in.
And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about is what sets Alabama Training Network apart from other training providers. And that's one of the things, customization.
Yes.
We can come into your facility, and before we do anything, we can just watch and see what do you need the assistance in. And I think a lot of times there are companies that don't exactly know what they need. They might think they know.
Sure.
They're like, oh, we need this. And then it takes somebody, with Alabama Training Network, you look at our staff, we have over 1,000 years of combined manufacturing experience. We're bringing somebody with well-known experience to your facility, and they can sit there and they can watch, and they can say, well, look, I know you think that you need this, and you might need this eventually, but first we need to start here.
Yeah.
And we need to customize this to fit the needs of your individuals and your workers. And I think that is one of the things that sets us apart. Absolutely.
I mean, we work with some really talented people, if you really boil it down.
Yes.
And they have a lot of experience, as we've been over before, with a lot of manufacturing processes. And it is rare. It is a rare occasion that they will see a process or hear about a process that they are not at all familiar with.
Yes.
They may not have done it, but they're familiar with it. And we will take a core training that we provide and modify it to the point that it applies exactly to what you're trying to do. I think that is one of the things that sets us apart.
Yeah, we also are, I mean, while we are, 50 plus employees, we are still small enough where we can accommodate kind of on the fly.
Yeah.
I've done that before, and I know people that have. You've got companies that come in and you're teaching something, and they're like, it's not working.
Right.
Like, this isn't what, and they accommodate and modify by the next class, which
Extremely flexible.
could be the next day.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something to say, is that you're not, it just gives you the growth that you need as a company.
And it minimizes downtime.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. The only complaint I ever get is those that have worked the night shift, the third shift, and they come in and they have to sit there for 4.5 hours and go through training.
Mm-hmm.
And that's rough.
It is tough. That's absolutely tough.
That's tough for me.
And not only, but you realizing that as an instructor, to still make your class and your teaching,
Stick.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of the
I
word.
haven't Dead Poet Society. I didn't do that yet, but I
Okay.
did. We did have like this
No standing on desks.
no standing on desk,
Okay.
but we did
You want to sound your barbaric yacht?
we did go get chocolate, and if they would just answer a remote part of the question, so we just did like you do with children. We just sugar hide them. So
Well, any type of involvement that you can get after those third shifts, I mean,
and-
bravo.
made the games much more interactive.
Exactly.
Yeah, much
Exactly.
more, and put lots of opportunities for them to win things, and they got a little bit more motivated.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, everybody loves to win something.
I'm in the mid part of my life. Sleep is precious for me. And the lack of
As it is for them.
And then you got, it's a dark room because we got the PowerPoint going.
Sure.
And so,
Yeah.
that's just asking for it. Yes.
Yeah.
We should pass out blankets and cocoa. So, a lot of things have stayed the same.
Yeah.
Some things have changed.
Sure.
We are all about a team and working together. We're so much a team that we're part of the team that helped make the decision on what the brand looks like.
Yes.
So you can email all of us if you don't like it. It was a unified group effort. Democracy was definitely there, right? Because I don't even think everybody at this table agreed on what the final brand was. I know one didn't.
No. But we had a majority. We're not saying any names
None.
at all.
None.
No, but it was the majority, and I want to say that we had really good input and involvement with our staff, and I think we're headed in the right direction. I think it's great. We now are building a business development team.
That's right.
Never had that before. A team of people who are dedicated to go out and travel the whole state of Alabama and push Alabama Training Network. And as you know, we have a history of repeated customers or repeated clients, and that is great. We love those companies and we work well with those companies, but it is always a goal of ours out there to find the new companies that maybe have never done training with us. And I think once they figure out exactly who Alabama Training Network is and exactly what we can do, and how we can help them, I think they would be, and we're in their backyard, like it's not something that you're reaching for the stars here.
That's right, Joey. How many backyards are we in?
Not all of them.
No.
But look, that's one of the great things about the business development team and the rebranding and going to a full team-centric management model. We will be able to, one of our goals is to grow as an organization. We've been in a growth mode before. We've been in a stable mode. Now we want to restart the cycle and enter a growth mode. Part of that goal is to analyze ready access to services in geographical areas that we may not have historically reached easily. There aren't a great deal of those areas, but there are some gaps that could be filled. Now, business development team, to your point, will be able to go to those places more readily because that's what they do. They're not like regular staff out delivering projects. They're out to develop these relationships. So we want to reach those areas, and we want to use data from the teams to be able, in our growth mode, to place engineers in a more readily accessible place for those areas. I think that's one of the specific goals that we have that are outside of the one system or any of that. And I think that's the proper thing for us to do. There are a lot of people we could assist that we just never have based on that thing. And I think business development will help us do that.
Yeah. I think so too. I think the exposure that they have to building relationships with the networks that circle all the companies, manufacturing, non-manufacturing in the state. We offer Measure for Success.
Measure for Success. Business development initiative, if you want to call it.
And that is a hour to an hour and a half long. So if you're a chamber or manufacturing association or an economic development group.
Or a community college.
And you're listening, or a consortium of manufacturers in a county that want to just have a kind of dose of what we offer.
Yeah.
We come and do about an hour and a half long presentation, and you can select out of them. It's a taste from each class. You just select which class that you would like to hear from.
Like the pick 3 from the appetizer
It
menu.
is. That's exactly what it is.
Welcome to Applebee's.
And so
the sampler pack.
The sampler. We're selling, and so that's a great tool that they've created and using and marketing, and it's been quite successful.
Yes.
It kind of exposes, the interesting thing that I think I've heard the most. So our BDO team's pretty new. We've had one on for a year.
A
little over a year. Year and a quarter.
Yeah, and then the other one is somewhere around there, and then we have 2 fairly new ones. So for the 2 older, more
seasoned,
not older, more seasoned employees.
Senior team members.
Very good. Senior team members, they have noticed, which was I thought to be very interesting, was that when they go meet with an existing company that we already train with, and they're talking to them about whatever the topic is that they're discussing that they're familiar with, when we pull out the training solution guide or we really start talking to them about the teams, they're like, wait a minute, you teach that? Like you have that?
Right.
Because they're so focused on, I'm the safety director or I'm the, and that's my focus. And I had no idea. Right. I'm out here hiring somebody else, or I've been desperately needing this. So I think that's helped them too, because they can bring everything to the table.
Exactly.
It's just
they're not
cool.
selling just one
Yes.
thing or one area of expertise, as we like to call it, much like our engineers, you know, who are on that team model and who are really focused on EH&S or CI or LMD, who is pushing that. You know, business development can come in and kind of work the whole gamut.
Yeah, and we can put on this podcast each team leader for each team. So we have environmental health and safety.
So check it out below.
Right, and we have, that's what my child does. Click A if you want to talk to EH&S. Click B or put B. And then we have continual improvement, right? And then we have industrial maintenance.
Yes.
And then we have food industry. And then we have leadership, management, and development. And all of them have a team director, which you'll see below.
Yep.
And their email, and you can reach out to them, and then we'll list our BDO people in their region of the state. So
Yes. You can also find our full list of solutions on our website at www.atn.org. We have over 180 plus different solutions, all customizable to fit your needs.
and you can search it, which
Yep.
I think is really cool.
You can search
So
it.
you can put in a keyword, like you don't know the, like me, who can't remember things. I know I'm looking for X, and so I put in that, and it pulls up all the classes. So it's got that Boolean search system in there, which I think is great.
Yes.
Because you're not sitting there trying to remember what was that class called, because sometimes the classes aren't as forthcoming, especially like especially if I am an HR person and I've been told to find an IMT class. Lord help us all. Because I would not even know how to start.
Or if
can
you
understand.
know the category or area of expertise that you're looking for, you know, if you know that you're looking for an EH&S class and you're just not exactly sure, you can go into EH&S itself and have the full list there, and you can scroll through if you don't know exactly what you're looking for.
I agree with that. It's a great resource, a great place to go look. One of the things I look forward to about the business development office is, you know, like you guys were saying, that a certain team may not push a certain thing. Well, those relationships were built organically over time. So
Yeah.
a company may have called a certain person and said, I want this specific thing. And they may have been referred to a person, and then that project happened. And then later down the road, they may have repeated that training the next year and then
Yes.
eventually said, I want this specific training, which may be in a different area. So I don't know that they've ever been exposed necessarily to
Correct.
the
Good
entire gamut. I don't.
Good point.
It's just so organic the way that has happened over time.
That is exactly what Sarah, which is our BDO manager, that is what she said. She said she was on a couple of different, and it was a relationship, which is what we pride ourselves in. And they just didn't know to ask, and
Right.
nor did that team member.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was just, we're in, we need this, and you know,
Yeah.
I got limited time to meet with you today.
They
I
got business
14
on their
fires.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, on another topic, when we're talking about BDO and growth and expansion, back to the community colleges. So, I think what's really neat about this opportunity we're seeing ourselves in 2026 and beyond is Alabama, I will say, is got every box ticked for workforce development. The problem is we do not always do the best job of delivering what we have to offer to people in Alabama.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, coming from the previous field, is we do a better job marketing it to people coming into Alabama than we
Yeah.
do to people that
Sure,
exist
sure.
in
Yeah,
Alabama.
that's a good point.
We have Secretary Reed that's on the the governor created a whole entire new entity for Alabama, and that really kicked off in the fall of last year. Secretary Reed is over that, Greg Reed, and
And
then
they just went through a whole new brand. too.
yes, they
So-
did. And then we have Chancellor Baker, who rebranded and created us one system. And inside the community college, which a lot of our people that's where their contact is, or that's how they were introduced to us, is through the workforce,
Yeah.
through the community college. So in the one system, we are the gap that if you need a welder, or you need CNC, or you need something that's long-term training or creating a pipeline that's either for credit or non-credit, that's the community college. That's where you go. But in that conversation, you're like, I also need OSHA 30 or
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily something the community college has staff and wants to allocate those resources to. So that's where our niche is we
Right.
come in there. AIDT has a niche of really helping companies growth and expand, and what their training mechanism is, getting your company hired, your employees hired, that onboarding experience, making it smoother. So for a company in the state of Alabama, whether it's coming into the state or we're existing, if we're expanding, you have got the resources. They're here.
They're here.
That's one reason why we created this podcast, was to try to help not only deliver Alabama Training Network and what we offer and how we're impacting, but we're also trying, and in this upcoming year we'll continue to do that, bring all the resources onto this podcast.
Exactly.
So if you're watching, you can just come back and find us and figure out who that contact person is and where you need that niche. And we've had the Economic Development Association on here. You know, you can go
Manufacturer
to,
Alabama.
right. You can go to your local associations. So we're really, I think Chancellor Baker had great foresight in coming up with one system. While the community college has one system and we're embedded in that, I think the state is really starting to understand to not segment workforce, but to really deliver it on a level that helps our companies.
Well, I mean, to your point, we have all these resources here in the state, readily accessible. I think,
Knowledge
like I
is
said
power.
earlier, the One System initiative is just an attempt to align them better and make them more accessible and let everyone know
Yes.
what happens.
Let
Right.
everyone know.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even mention the Innovation Center. I don't know what was wrong with me.
Yes.
Julie's been on here.
Julie.
Our boss, Keith Phillips, is the Deputy Chancellor, right? Everybody's titles are fairly new in my brain. Deputy Chancellor, Workforce Development. So he's your one-stop shop for the community college with all things workforce.
Yes.
We have an economic development person that helps you with all of that, Melody Witten. The Innovation Center, we're partnering with them,
Yes.
right, on
Yes.
some projects.
Yes, it's called RAISE, Rapid Advancement in Skills Education.
I also like to call it rise. That's what happens after you raise. You rise.
Rise. We think that, you know, RAISE was a good choice because in return, everybody loves thinking about money.
Yes.
Right? And then it's like, how can I get a raise?
Well,
Well,
I'm thinking about
you
Always
upskill,
thinking
you
about money.
upskill, and you learn. And we are going to partner with them. We are working on a few different trainings right now. Automotive tech is one.
Okay.
Where, you know, it is very much a partnership. So the Innovation Center will still continue to do what they do,
Right.
and put the course together. They will do the online portion of it, but with the hands-on training, we will actually step in and take over that part.
Oh,
and-
that's really
and
cool.
Provide the hands-on training. So yeah, it is a great partnership. We are excited about it. We are proud of it, and we can't wait to see what opportunities it opens up for Alabama Training Network.
Yeah, see, that's really neat that they're working with us. They've also, y'all can go back and watch Julie's podcast, but she did a really good job explaining how they worked with the associations, like Trucking Associate. Like they go in and really get the experience in that, whatever its specific skill is that they're needing upskill. So you're getting it from the industry.
Right. They're bringing the
and
companies
they typically
in.
do it with multiple industries. They
Yes.
don't
Yes.
pick a company. They
Yes.
get
Right.
a consortium of them.
Yes,
Yes.
which is really, really fascinating to actually see how it works and how everything is built out. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and I think everyone needs to understand, like when we talk about workforce, a lot of times what gets the splash, it's like everything in the world. It's going to be the sexy stuff, right?
Right.
Like it's going to be like Bravo, the end of last year, you know, we cut the ribbon on the 50-foot, like we're deeper in the port.
Yes.
We've had the
yes.
port on air. And then we also opened up the third line at Airbus at the end of the year. And so those are things that are really great. And so they think, I don't want companies to think, oh, you've got to be a large company to be able to get the value from all of this workforce. Nope. Nope. Our niche is small and medium. Now we help the
Yeah.
big companies.
Sure.
We're in all the big companies as well
Yeah.
as all these other entities of workforce that we've mentioned today. But we all have a lot of pride in that small to medium manufacturer.
Absolutely.
I think their stories are my favorite.
Yeah. And there's also for those companies who are small and medium who are not aware, there's funding available. You know, we can help you. You know, so don't think you're too small, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So in the upcoming months, we're going to have some of our Motti Award winners come on here and talk about some things.
Near and dear to my heart, Manufacturer of the Year. That was a great 2025 winners and finalists were a great group. I love it. I love Motti every year. I think it's great.
One of our finalists, so we'll have the winners on here. That's a partnership we have with Business Council of Alabama and Manufacturer Alabama, and which is great because, again, you're really starting to see the collaboration work in the state of Alabama.
Yes.
I think that's just going to just send us in a trajectory that's very positive, and hopefully we'll surpass some of our friends. You know, we go to certain events.
Are we in competition with our friends?
We are. There are some of our friends in the Southeast that I always am just like, one specifically up the coast, a little bit to the, I guess, Northeast. You know, South Carolina will just...
You guess Northeast?
It is Northeast. Home of a very, detailing little episode that we watched together of murders and in
There
mystery.
you go with auditory again. We listened to it.
Listened, watched. No, I also watched it, so I guess that's the thing. But anyway, back to the other. So I think Motti is really cool because you get to see the small and medium and large.
Yes. And emerging.
And
who are
emerging.
Typically, you know, it's 10 years or less that you have been up and running. And those are typically small,
Yes.
you know, just getting off the ground. And those are really neat.
And how cool is that? Like because if you've ever owned any company, you know that is blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely.
Sacrifice from family, friends, life,
Yes.
health, maybe. Lots of things go on the line.
For Manufacturer of the Year to give them recognition to say, hey, we see you, we see your blood, sweat, and tears, and to watch them get up on stage and accept even a finalist. You know, they all get awards, but the winners who get so emotional, and it is just, it touches your heart, you know, because like you said, it's their livelihood.
Yes.
It's their life.
Yes.
It is their life.
Yes.
Which goes back to the training network, the one system, all the cohesion. We get to be a small part of that.
I know.
When we help train and make a difference in their company and maybe push them to get that next contract because we did some kind of a continual improvement that helped them expand an existing footprint and they didn't have to make a capital investment or teach them leadership skills
Or get ISO certified.
right.
You know.
Or help them figure, or maybe not us, another entity helps them find a grant to be able to buy some new robots or something to really get them. Like there's so many ways that we kind of fit together in a great big puzzle.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like that for a long time we were very fragmented. Like you just had to know how to get people
I agree. I agree. I you know, a lot of, you know, some confusion there. And like Joey was speaking earlier, you know, the knowledge,
Yeah.
you know, was not, I guess maybe lack thereof. Like we have the resources. It is just really providing people with that knowledge. What is the best way to communicate the resources with them and letting them know we are here.
Yes. And if we can't help you, we know who can.
Exactly.
And we're not in competition together.
No,
we are all part of a
we
big...
can work in tandem, you know.
And I think that's really cool. That's really exciting. And it's more for everybody. Everyone.
All in this together.
I knew it was coming.
Rising tide raises all boats.
That is correct. Is it raises all boats or raises all ships?
But
Ships.
we don't do ships. We
We
boats.
do ships.
We got boats.
We have ships.
I don't have a ship.
They have ships.
Do you have a boat?
No.
Because we'll be right back. We're going to the lake.
Right? I was like, where have I not known this?
We could care less that it's January. We're going on. But that's really, I think that's a message that we need to really, really hone in on 2026. So speaking of 2026, if we were 3, and maybe Keith will be with us, but we meet back in December, what are y'all thoughts of if you could foreshadow right?
If I could foreshadow
What this year will look like with our name change and
good
all,
question.
and that we're not the only people that are really trying to unify and grow. Like you've got a bunch of people trying to go in the same direction and not compete. Like we're paralleling and we're there's these great intersections that are unlike where they've built the medians where you can't really get across on the interstate. There's these wonderful ways to pass back and forth safely. So what do y'all think?
I think we will have collaborated with probably a total of 3 entities we've never collaborated with before.
Okay.
I think growth-wise, we would be 20% larger
Ooh.
than.
I like the number.
Maybe not 20% larger from January the 1st. Maybe 20% larger from mid 2025.
Okay.
That's still a good number.
20 to 25%. I would say that would be a successful growth period. I think if that happens, there will be a reason for that happening, and we will be in a good place.
Ooh, that makes me excited.
And we're all looking at you, Joey, because you're the numbers guru. You know, you look at the things like that. So
I do. I think that's a necessary move.
So if this all happens, I'm asking you to come back in December with your riding cap and your cat.
And my boat.
And your boat.
you'll have a boat by then.
And I want you to sit here and pet your cat as you talk about the great success of 2026. What's your thoughts, Paige? What do you think?
Well, I definitely see growth on the horizon. I don't think there is really the way that we're setting ourselves up. I don't think there's any way around it. I mean, I think we are headed for a great direction. I think our partnerships are strong and they're growing. I think our clients are strong and they're growing. And just with everything that we discussed today, we have a bright future. And, you know, I'll wrap this up by saying, you know, Alabama Training Network, built for training, driven by workforce.
I love it.
And that is what we will do, and that is what we will pursue. And I think we have great things ahead of us.
All right. I think that's it. I think we are probably at our time. And hopefully this was a great kickoff of 2026. We are going to have a lot of information below of how you can contact us. I just think of my kid every time I do this. Below.
Yeah.
Below. Do I go to the end of the table and point below?
No.
Anyway, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Paige, again. It's so fun hosting with both of y'all.
It is. It's enjoyable. And it was a little different because we didn't necessarily have a guest. We consider Joey our third co-host now.
Thank you very much.
So just to be able to be here today and have a conversation about the year to come, really awesome, really excited, really proud to be a part of it.
Yes. So check us out, Alabama Training Network.
We're still www.atn.org. That will never change.
That's correct. And make sure you check out our training guide. And we are built for workforce. Nope.
We are built for training, driven by workforce.
All right, let's try it one more time, Nick. Okay. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for watching us today on Alabama Training Network. Make sure to check us out and like us and check out our website, www.atn.org. And we are ready to go. Give us the slogan one more time, Paige.
Yep, Alabama Training Network, built for training, driven by workforce.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you later.